All right, what's the idea?
Just a minute, Sonny.
Just a minute, what do you want?
Well, Sonny, I want to talk to you about Miss Sylvie Ann.
Miss Sylvie Ann is none of your business.
Now, you stay away from her.
Joe! What happened? Oh, you're hurt.
Oh, no, I'm all right. Hey, oh, yeah, I guess I am hurt a little bit.
Well, come on inside. I'll fix that cut for you.
All right. Oh.
Arnica.
That's bottled fire, you mean?
You'll give our place a bad reputation. What were you fighting about?
I still don't know. I was walking over to the palace when this big buffalo jumped me. Stay away from Miss Sylvie Ann, he said. A fat chance there is of that happening.
Little Joe, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm not your sort of girl.
Then just what sort of a girl are you?
Well, I'm no Juliet.
Got the whole town talking about you, my boy.
What do you mean?
That fight, my boy. Sylvie Ann, where are the drinks?
Pop, isn't it a little early for that?
Not for me. No, sir, not for me.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, Mr. Brock.
Oh, Mr. Brock. I heard a lot about you. You own most of the mining claims around here, don't you?
I've heard about you. Higgler's a real hard case and a troublemaker. I had to fire him from one of my mines. Everyone was surprised the way you handled him.
I was a little surprised myself.
You made an impression on this town, a big one.
Now we'll have a small libation. Just a small libation.
Mr. Mayor, you know, I think Mr. Cartwright might be the man to help you.
No, what's that? Oh, yes, indeed. The very man.
I'll help you do what?
Oh, please, sit down. You see, our sheriff, he had an accident. He broke his leg. We had to take him to Reno, and he'll be gone for a couple of weeks. Now, what this town needs is someone to wear his badge till he gets back. Mr. Cartwright, we think you're just the man.
You want me to wear a sheriff's badge?
But you can handle yourself. You proved that today. That's what the job needs. Isn't that right, Mayor?
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah. You look at it from the viewpoint of the people who live here. Now, who are we going to pin that badge on? Some grocery clerk? No.
Yeah, wait a minute. Now, don't you think this is an awful lot of responsibility just to hand to someone as young as myself?
You know what we mean, don't you, Sylvie Ann? It's a matter of civic responsibility.
Well, I have to admit it does make sense.
Never argue with a woman, Mr. Cartwright.
It's awfully hard to argue with a woman like Sylvie Ann.
Well, Sylvie Ann?
If it's for the good of the town, I'm on their side.
This job's getting tougher to turn down every minute.
Then why turn it down?
There's something I have to do first.
Then you're saying you're going to take the job?
I'm saying I'll think about it.
Well, that's good enough.
Capital. Now, I think we should have a little drink on that. I hope you'll see it our way.
Gentlemen, I'll let you know by tomorrow morning. I'll see you later.
I'll be here.
Why? Don't you think I can handle responsibility?
Joe, I'm talking about a particular kind of responsibility. The responsibility that every man wears who pins on a badge and works and sometimes dies, making the law stand for what it does.
But, Pa, I understand that, but no one, not even this kind of sheriff you're talking about, knows how he's going to work out until he's given the chance.
But why a sheriff, Joe? Why?
I didn't raise my sons to live by a gun. We all worked hard to make the Ponderosa what it is. I'd always thought that we'd all be content and happy to share in its future.
Pa, it's not that. I'm not deserting the Ponderosa. All I want is a chance to see if I can handle a job when it's given to me off the Ponderosa as well as on. Pa, it's only for a few weeks. Besides, what could happen in a little town like Rubicon?
It only takes one man to break the law. Son, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't tell you that I don't like this idea. Now, perhaps, well, maybe it'd be better if you tell him to find someone else.
You mean find someone that's older, don't you, Pa? Someone who's not the baby of the family, someone who's a grown-up man like Hoss or Adam. Well, I'm tired of being little Joe, Pa. I'm tired of being the little brother. I want a chance to do something by myself.
Joseph, I never treated you as a baby.
I'm sorry, Pa, it's not you. But it is Hoss and it is Adam. They don't pay any attention to anything I do. Everything I try to do is a big joke to them.
Well, I think I can understand how you feel, son. But do you really think that pinning on a sheriff's badge is going to solve that problem?
Joe, we got all that wood loaded without you.
Hey, you're back from Rubicon when the work's all finished. That's pretty good timing.
That's enough fooling around, boys. Little Joe here has a serious decision to make, and I think we all ought to hear it.
Well, tell me he's going to marry that little gal over in Rubicon.
Which one? Aren't there several?
Joe's been offered a job.
What kind of job, little Joe?
Being the sheriff of Rubicon.
Sheriff?
What's everybody in Rubicon, gals or something?
At least you can see now why I have to take the job.
Sheriff.
Thank you very much, boy. You just forced him into making a decision that I didn't want him to make.
Well, you mean he really wants to be a sheriff?
Yes, I'm afraid he does.
Oh, Pa. Little Joe's just little Joe.
Just a kid.
Is he, Adam? Or is it that you've been thinking of him for so long as being just a little brother that you've forgotten that he's growing up? That he has grown-up feelings and grown-up pride?
If he's really serious about this, we ought to get into Rubicon. He's going to get him some trouble he can't handle.
No, that's just the point. Little Joe's got to learn to handle his own troubles. I only wish hadn't picked such a hard way to start. Well, I hope he remembers.
Remembers what?
That he has a family. That we love him. And we'd help him if he needs help.
Brock,
Well, Mr. Mayor, what is it?
he's here. That Cartwright kid.
You mean little Joe? Then he who went for it, didn't he?
Yes, he went for it.
He must sure think a lot of your daughter, Mr. Mayor.
I hope she thinks you're worth all this. I'll be glad when the whole thing is over.
Come on, you old sot. Fortify yourself with some courage to swear in our new sheriff.
Those men you sent for, when'll they get here?
All in good time, Mr. Mayor. All in good time.
And I further swear that I will enforce the laws of this town and my country.
To the very best of my ability, so help me God.
To the very best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations and thanks, Sheriff. Well, Mayor?
Oh, yes, congratulations.
Is that all there is to it?
It's a simple act, Cartwright. All it takes is a good man.
Oh, I almost forgot. The city charter. The law requires the sheriff to read it.
I guess I better learn the laws I'm supposed to enforce.
Well, don't go expecting too much excitement in our little town, Sheriff. And if you get tired of reading, you know what a royal palace is.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ab, I'm not sure about that kid. He seemed pretty serious about this thing.
You worry too much, George.
Well, I have reason to. And the others. Time's getting close, and they're not even here yet.
Yes, they are, George. Yes, they are.
At the end of the hall.
Who are the two undertakers?
I don't know. Just some strangers. So, you decided to take the job.
That's right. That's getting to see you the hard way, isn't it?
Is that the only reason you took the job?
No, it's not the only reason. But I think you're a pretty good one. Oh, reminds me, I wrote something down for you. What's the matter? Don't you like it?
The city charter of Rubicon?
Oh, no, I gave you the wrong paper. Oh, yeah.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. It's beautiful.
Hey, you know what it's from?
Romeo and Juliet.
Of course, I'm not exactly Romeo.
Hey, what's going on here? The duties of the job aren't too demanding, are they, Sheriff?
Now, to be quite frank with you, I'm not exactly sure what my duties are yet.
Well, don't let me chase you away. Fred, let me have a cup of coffee, will you, please?
I guess it is about time I showed the citizens of Rubicon what their new sheriff looks like. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye, Joe. Ab, why are you doing this?
Oh, honey, why worry about it?
Why did you have Sheriff Cleaver sent out of town?
Because he's a hard-nosed old man with 35 years' experience, wearing a badge and using a gun.
And little Joe?
Just a romantic kid.
With no experience.
That's right. Even if he blunders into my plan, he'll hesitate at that crucial second. By the time he figures out what to do, it'll be too late.
Will you please tell me what's going to happen and when?
How long has it been, Sylviane, since we first met?
5 years, 3 months, and 2 days.
And you've been patient, honey. And now we almost have it.
Ab, I would have married you 5 years ago without a cent.
I know, but marriage without money is no good. Now we can have both. Just a few days, we'll be on our way with the whole world in front of us.
But I don't want the whole world. I just want you.
about yesterday? No hard feelings.
Get lost, Sheriff.
And now, look, I'm only trying to be friendly.
Now, you look. Don't you try to play sheriff with me, sonny boy. You run along home and play with your toys.
Wait a minute, I just tried...
All right, sonny boy. Come try. Now, why don't you just give up, sonny boy?
Hold it. You're not going anywhere just yet. Don't make me use it. Take your gun out nice and easy and throw it in front of you. All right, I'm taking you in.
Now, what's wrong? You sore because you got a little bit of your own medicine?
No, I've been beat up before. I just want to find out why you didn't nail me the first time.
What's the charge?
For a starter, assaulting an officer of the law. Over by the cell. Get inside.
You can't keep me here.
I can and I will. You answer some questions.
Like what?
Like who hired you to lose that fight?
Well, I can't answer a question like that.
You're gonna have to if you want to get out of that cell.
You know, I never met the man I couldn't whip. With ease. But they're no good against bullets.
Give me the answers I want, and I'll make sure you get safely out of town. Who's the man that hired you?
You don't expect me to answer that.
Man, you're afraid I won't know whether you did or not. Not gonna be able to take any chances with you behind bars.
They know I won't talk.
Yeah, sure they will. And for a day or two, what's gonna happen then? They're not gonna be able to take any chances. They're gonna come for you, Higgler. You don't have much choice.
I got one choice here, boy. You're gonna have to beat it out of me. If you think you can.
Joe, I heard about it. Oh, look at your face.
All right, never mind that. Let's talk. Yesterday, I was a big man. I whipped the town bully and didn't even mess my hair. Today, I couldn't have whipped Higgler with one hand tied behind his back. Now, you know what that means?
No, I don't.
It means this whole thing was a setup and I walked into it like a fool kid.
Oh, Joe, don't say that.
Why not? It's the truth, isn't it? And you're in on it too, aren't you, Sylviane? Weren't you?
No. Joe, believe me, I don't know anything about this.
You and Brock talked me into taking this job. They couldn't even wait a day or two, could they?
Joe, maybe you shouldn't have taken this job.
All right, move on. The excitement's over. Now, what do you know about this? What's gonna happen?
I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't want you to get caught in it.
An hour ago, you were tickled pink I took this job.
All right, I changed my mind. Now take off that tin badge and quit trying to play grown-up. You're just a kid. Can't you understand that? There are some things you just can't do.
Thanks, now you sound like my family.
Then go home, Joe, where you belong. Whatever is wrong here is not your concern.
This badge makes it my concern. This town gave me a job. I'm gonna finish it.
And what'll you do the next time you run into another higgler? Read him some poetry? Something out of Romeo and Juliet?
You're just stupid. Is that head of yours filled with muscle? Why don't you stay out of town like I told you?
I was getting out of town, Mr. Brock. I just stopped for one drink.
For one drink. And you ended up in the sheriff's jail. What did you tell him?
I didn't tell him anything. I swear it, Mr. Brock.
I don't like this, Ab. I don't like it at all. You said it'd be simple. Now it's getting complicated. Just shut up!
No, you just get him out of town. And you put him on the road.
You mean under the road, don't you?
No, you let him go. I don't want any more, as my friend the mayor puts it. Complications. Now you just get up here.
What's going on up there?
Nothing, my dear. Leave it be.
Leave it be? How can I? I just saw Higgler with one of those strangers. Pop, how'd he get out of jail?
No, I told you before. Leave it alone. The less you know, the better off you'll be.
All right. If you won't tell me, I'll go ask Ab.
No. Please don't do that. I don't want you involved in any of this.
Aren't you my father? Aren't I already involved?
You looking for something, Mayor?
Oh, Sheriff. Just in time for a little drink.
No, thanks. No drink. I just have some questions that need answers.
Answers? Answers? They're all in the city charter, my boy.
No, not these answers, Mayor. They didn't bother to write these down. But I think you could give me a few.
Well, let's not just stand here like ordinary citizens. After all, we're city officials. Let's go over there in the alcove and have a little talk. Hmm?
That's just what I want to have, Mayor. A little talk.
Come on.
Sylvia, can't you see that I'm busy with my associate from San Francisco?
I understand, Mr. Brock. A gentleman never keeps a lady waiting.
All right, but I want to go over our business arrangements again.
I'll be just down the hall, Mr. Brock.
All right, what is it that can't wait?
Ab, what's going on? Who are these men? What do they want here?
I haven't got time to answer a lot of silly questions.
Well, Joe Cartwright is asking me questions, and they're questions I can't answer. He wants to know about Higgler and about how he got to be sheriff.
What'd you tell him?
What could I tell him? I don't know.
That's right. And what you don't know, you don't worry about.
But Joe's right. You did set Higgler up for him, didn't you? I just saw him now in the lobby with one of those undertakers.
All I did was send him out of town. You really enjoy looking for trouble, don't you? Tomorrow, everything out there can belong to me. But there's one man who can ruin it. He's coming to Rubicon tomorrow on the stage.
Is that the man that's going to buy the options on your mining claims?
He knows me from somewhere else. Under a different name and a different reputation.
Ab, I don't know what you're talking about.
The minute he steps off that stage, there's gonna be an accident.
Why?
Because he can blow my scheme sky high the minute he sees me. I don't even know he was with that mining syndicate till they telegraphed me. He's gotta die.
But that's murder.
Of course it's murder. Men murder other men every day in the week for small, petty reasons. Well, this is gonna be for a big reason. For us and our future.
But Ab, I don't want it that way. I won't let you do it.
What are you gonna do? Go to the authorities? To your father, the mayor, or maybe to our new young sheriff?
Listen, he may be young, but he believes in that badge.
When he lifts one little finger, he's gonna be our young but dead sheriff.
No, Ab, please.
Sylvie Ann, you've waited 5 long years, same as me.
But I don't want it like this, not this way.
What do you want? You want that cheap bar downstairs? You want to be stuck in this town the rest of your life? Now, listen to me. It is all arranged and paid for. No connection with me at all. It's gonna look like a robbery attempt on that stage that failed.
Oh, that's why you sent for those 2 men. I knew it. I smell death on them. Everywhere they go, they reek of it.
That's right. That's their job. Honey, I thought you loved me.
I do love you.
Then trust me, Sylvie Ann. You won't regret it.
And what about little Joe? He's only a boy, Ab.
Well, you just keep him occupied till after that stage comes in and nothing's gonna happen to him.
That's several hours.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Ab, please tell me you love me.
You know I love you. Don't you ever forget it.
Don't worry, Sylvia. Annie didn't tell me anything. Oh, he escapes pretty fast in that bottle. So that leaves you.
Yes, I guess it does. Do you want to ask me any more questions?
For a starter, where's Brock? Guess I know where he is.
Joe, wait.
Brock! Brock! You know where he went? Where is he?
Little Joe, I've got to talk to you.
Oh, that's very funny. All of a sudden, you have to talk to me, huh?
Look, what I said before to you, I was angry.
In anger, truth will out. I read that somewhere. Not in Romeo and Juliet.
I tried to tell you I was no Juliet.
All right, we've been through this all before, haven't we? All I want now are some answers. You're Brock's girl, right? You've always been his girl.
Oh. You had to find that out someday.
And that's why you went along with this cheap trick of making me the sheriff. Why you got me to pin this badge on her.
Yes, because my man asked me to. And because I would do anything that my man asked me to do. With one exception, little Joe. Murder.
So that's it, huh? All right, when is it gonna be?
Tomorrow, sunup. On the stage. They're gonna try to kill one of the passengers. I don't know who.
The 2 undertakers we saw, Brock hired them too, didn't he?
Yes.
2 against 1. He likes a sure thing. Now you want me to stop it, is that it?
I wish you could. But pinning on a badge and strapping on a gun will never make a gunfighter out of you.
So that's the real reason for giving me the job, huh? Yeah. Yeah, they wanted a boy for a sheriff, not a man.
But you are a man, Joe, a very good man. But you can't do it alone.
Yeah, I think my family might agree with you. I don't know the real reason why I took this job. Oh, granted, you were part of it. The real reason was the first time in my life somebody outside the family offered me a job with responsibility. It's a chance to prove myself to my father and my brothers. And Look at me now.
Wait a minute. Your father and your brothers. With their help, there'd be enough of you to stop this whole thing. Well, Joe, you can't do anything about it all by yourself.
I can try.
You wouldn't stand a chance.
That's the way it was planned, wasn't it? Oh, don't you worry, Sylviane. The stage comes in tomorrow. I'll be there to meet it.
Joe, wait. You do understand, don't you? I mean, about Brock and me.
No, I don't understand. Not you and Brock. Not a girl like you.
Sylviane, where are you going this time of night?
Like you told me, what you don't know won't hurt you. It's too late to worry about me now, Pop.
Well, that ought to hold you for a while.
And she wouldn't tell me where she was going. Now I'm asking you to get up and find her.
She's a big girl, Mayor. I'm sure she's been out alone at night before.
You mean to tell me you're going to lie there and do nothing?
Look, I'm the sheriff here, not her father.
I should have known better than to swear in a boy for sheriff.
They wanted a boy. All right, I'll give them one.
You think somebody stole your horse?
Well, no, I didn't say they stole my horse. I just said it disappeared out of the barn.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Sheriff. Maybe the mayor
Hey,
here
look,
and I...
Mr. Brock. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Brock. About my being sheriff.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, see, in the beginning, the whole idea about being sheriff and everything, well, see, that all appealed to me. I don't know. I think I'm too young or something. I think it's too big a job for me.
All right, we're satisfied with the job you're doing. You're doing just fine. Isn't that right, Mayor?
You sure? Fine.
Hey, but am I really, Mr. Brock? Now look, first thing, I arrest that bully Higgler, and then I lose him. Earlier this evening, I'm talking to Sylviane. Now she's disappeared. And to top it all off, I can't even find my horse.
Well, it's just that you're kind of new at the job. You haven't had much experience sheriffing, but you'll get better as you go on.
I just don't think so.
Sure you will. There's only one thing, though.
What's that?
Well, it's Sylviane. I think you should go look for her.
Yeah, but how can I? I don't even know where she went.
Well, the mayor's kind of worried about her. Would you look for her, Sheriff?
Without a horse?
Listen, Cartwright, I happen to own a livery stable here, and it's just full of horses. If they haven't all been stolen by now, you can have your pick.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Brock. Hey, yeah, I'll get started in the morning.
Oh, the morning? Well, that's hours from now. You better start at once, Sheriff.
In the dark?
Well, I think it gets light about 5 o'clock. You should find your way around by then.
Oh, 5 o'clock. Yeah, well, I better get my stuff together.
Your stuff?
Oh, yeah, my guns, my handcuffs.
Oh, of course.
My warrants.
Well, good luck, Sheriff.
Okay, well, thanks, Mr. Brock. I'm gonna make it all up to you.
That kid couldn't find a needle in a pincushion. I tell you, Brock.
All right, Mayor, all right. I just want him out of town. He's liable to get himself killed hanging around here. And I want this clean, and I want it simple.
What about Sylvie Ann? Where's she gone?
Will you get a hold on yourself? She's a woman, isn't she? She's worried about this business. She doesn't want to see it happen. She'll be back when it's all over.
Everything's getting all mixed up. Maybe we could call it off, huh?
We can't call it off. Do you understand that? And stop worrying about Sylvie Ann. I told you she'll be back. She loves me.
Mr. Cartwright! Mr. Cartwright!
You all right? You hurt?
Yes, I'm all right. Is this the Ponderosa?
Yes, it is. What are you doing with little Joe's horse?
I've got to talk to Mr. Cartwright.
I best get you in the house. Paul! Hey, Paul, come down here, quick!
What is it, Hoss?
Paul, this little gal came riding in on little Joe's horse.
Get some brandy. What's this about you riding in on my son's horse?
Well, I thought if I rode his horse, you'd believe me.
Believe what? Who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Sylvie Ann. Thanks. My father owns the Palace Hotel in Rubicon, and I work there.
You didn't ride all the way from Rubicon to tell me that. What's happened to little Joe?
Well, nothing yet, but something's going to unless he gets some help.
What kind of trouble is he in?
Mr. Cartwright, you brought him up too well. You taught him about responsibility.
What kind of trouble is he in?
He's in serious trouble. And in a few hours, he's going to be facing up to it all alone.
Facing up to what?
2 hired killers.
Get at him.
Hey, Adam! Adam! Come down here right quick!
You're the girl Joseph has been seeing in Rubicon?
I'm the girl. Not quite the right kind of girl for him, am I, Mr. Cartwright?
You're a pretty girl, Sylvie Ann. The important thing is to get help to Joseph right now.
Doesn't everybody ever go to bed around here? Oh, why didn't you say we had company?
It's Joe. He's in trouble in Rubicon.
Saddle up the horses. It's a long ride. Will you be able to ride with us?
I can try.
so, Dad, I realize now it's awfully tough to face responsibility alone. But I've made up my mind to see it through. If something goes wrong, I know you'll understand. Joe.
Gentlemen, it worked like a charm. The rest is up to you.
That's what we've been paid for, isn't it?
Now remember, it's the man I shake hands with.
Put up your hands. Throw down that shotgun. All right, everybody out.
Drop it!
Somebody get a doctor. Mr. Jennings? You know this man? His name is Brock.
His name isn't Brock. It's Winslow, John Winslow. I saw him commit murder in St. Louis 6 years ago.
I tried to stop it for your sake.
Poor Sylvia. Always the worrier. Looks like you're 6 years too late.
I don't understand.
Jennings can tell you. That's why I was meeting you. To wipe you and that memory out of the world. The world that was almost mine.
Take it easy. I've sent for a doctor.
A doctor? Aren't you gonna use that tin badge of yours? Aren't you gonna arrest me? I made a big mistake picking you.
I'm sorry, Sylvia.
Come along, my dear.
Oh, Anne. Oh.
job, son?
It's a lot tougher than I thought it would be.
Well, I didn't think you'd mind if we came to pay you a visit.
Thanks, it gets a little lonely in a strange town.
Looks like you did a real good job, little brother.
You coming home with us?
As soon as the regular sheriff gets back.
Want us to hang around?
Why, so you can make some more jokes about me?
Sorry, never again.
That's for dang sure, little brother.
Well, look, why don't you come over to my office and have a cup of coffee?
Must be his wife. She dead, too?
Yeah. Wonder how it happened.
I don't know. Reckon something must have spooked the horses. Broke the tree. Wagon came tumbling down. That road's icy.
We're heading for high country. Wonder who they are.
I don't know. Look around, see if you can find anything to identify him by.
Right.
Joe, see if you can find a shovel.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
What is it?
It's a kid's little toy bear.
Maybe we better have a look around.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Honey. We don't want to hurt you. We're going to help you, baby. Honey.
Oh, she's blind.
I've already talked to Sheriff Coffey about this, but I was wondering if when you got back into town, perhaps you could look around and see if you could find any relatives of hers.
I'll do that.
Yes, she's our responsibility, huh?
Good night, Ben. Boys.
Thank you for coming out, Doctor.
Thank you.
Little gal has a lot of spunk, Paul. She fought like a wildcat this afternoon. They grabbed hold of her.
What do we do now, Pop?
That's a good question. I don't know how to take care of a little girl, particularly one who's... Well, it isn't going to be easy. Don't be frightened, darling. No one is going to hurt you. Get you back into bed here. Hmm? There we are. Now, you know, my name is Ben Cartwright. My sons brought you here and brought you to our home.
Mama. Papa.
Now, don't you worry about anything, darling. Everything's going to be real fine.
They're dead. Aren't they? I know they're dead. I heard Mama scream. Then the wagon fell.
Darling, please don't cry.
Yes. Only little girls cry.
That's right. And you're not a little girl, are you?
I'm almost 12.
Almost 12. Why, you're getting to be real grown up. Say, do you know something? I don't even know your name.
It's Gabrielle.
Oh, that's such a pretty name. Gabrielle, can you tell me where you and your parents were going?
To the mountain.
To the mountain?
To find Grandfather. Poor Papa. He wanted so badly to see him. For us all to be together on Christmas. Now I have to find him.
Gabrielle.
I'm so tired. Is it night out?
Yes, darling.
Honk, honk.
Hey, look out! Hey, look out! Look out, honey! Be careful! You all right?
Yes, I must have spooked him.
Yeah, I reckon you did a little.
I know you.
You do?
You brought me here
That's right. How'd you know that?
because you're so big.
Yeah, I reckon I am.
What's your name?
Horse?
Horse?
No, just plain horse, H-O-S-S, not H-O-R-S-E. And your name is Gabrielle. I was bringing breakfast down to you, but how'd you get out here anyhow?
I walked.
Looks like you did at that. Come on, let's go get some of that breakfast.
Just walk in front of me. I can hear your footsteps.
Feeling better?
Why is everybody standing around?
I suppose we want to see that you're enjoying your breakfast.
You're probably wondering what you're going to do with me.
Gabrielle, last night when we were talking, you mentioned your grandfather living in a mountain.
Yes. Will you take me to him?
Well, of course I will.
You promise?
I promise. Now, about your grandfather, though. Do you know where that mountain is?
I'm not sure. Papa knew. He hadn't seen Grandfather for the longest time, ever since he went to prison.
Your grandfather went to prison?
But then they found out he didn't do anything wrong to be put in prison for, so they let him go.
Gabrielle, you never did tell me your last name. Now, would it happen to be Wickham?
How did you know?
I've heard of your grandfather.
Will you take me to him like you promised?
Well, that doesn't leave me much choice then, does it? Hop Sing, why don't you take Gabrielle into the kitchen and give her one of those plum cakes that you've been making?
Joe, she don't need no help. She likes to follow. Hop Sing, just walk along in front of her. She don't like to hang on.
Was that you, Hop Sing?
I bumped into a chair.
You better watch where you're going.
So her grandfather's that old hermit up on Mount Davidson, huh?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
What's this about prison, Paul?
Well, you were just a boy at the time. Joe wasn't even born yet. Now, they put him away in the Yuma Territorial Prison for murder.
How'd he get out?
Well, he spent about 21 years in that hole of human misery. And then they found out he wasn't guilty.
Boy, I ought to come out of there with blood in my eye.
No wonder he hates everybody.
Well, first things first. Adam, I want you to ride into Virginia City and buy us some new clothes.
Me? What kind of clothes?
How do I know? Whatever kind little girls wear. And you two, you keep an eye on her all the time. I don't care what you do. Talk to her, read to her, walk around with her, but don't let her out of your sight.
This is one of our new little coats.
He sure kisses nice.
Well, he likes you.
I guess he thinks maybe I'm his mama.
Yeah, well... He ain't got no mama. What I mean to say is, you see, when he is born, his mama...
It's all right, Hoss. He'll learn to get along by himself. Papa said everyone has to learn that.
That's old Blackie in there. He's really feeling his oats today.
I bet he's short-barreled and has real strong legs.
That's right. How'd you know that?
I can hear him. I bet he's good for climbing hills.
Dad Bernard, I can tell you sure know something about horses.
I can ride, too. Papa taught me how to tell the direction by the sun on my face. That's west. And there's a mountain there, all covered with snow and great trees. That's where my grandpa is.
The beautiful bird sits no longer, singing in the nest. The cat has got it and will scratch out thy eyes as...
Go on, little Joe.
Rapunzel is lost to you. You will see her no more. Maybe you better go to sleep now, Gabrielle. Need plenty of rest if you're going to go up to the mountain and look for your grandfather tomorrow.
Will you come and visit me at my grandfather's?
Yeah, sure I will. Now look, I don't want you to get your hopes up too high about finding your grandfather tomorrow. There's a lot of wild country up there.
He'll be there. Papa said he was the kind of man who could live off the land.
It's very important to you to find your grandfather, isn't it?
Yes, little Joe. He's all alone. I don't want to leave him alone.
Look, I want you to go to sleep, okay?
Will you read the last part to me? The part that goes, and when Rapunzel's tears touched his eyes.
And when Rapunzel's tears touched his eyes, they became clear again. And he took her to his kingdom where he was received with great joy. And there they lived long and happily.
Okay, up you go.
Now, you hang on tight, Gabrielle.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright and Adam. And don't worry, we'll find Grandfather. You'll see.
Careful now.
Bye, Gabrielle.
Bye.
Bye, Paul.
Up in the house. Careful now.
You sure this is the only way up there?
The only way, little brother. I told you the last 2 miles are foot. The old man don't like company.
Yeah, well, it's not that I don't trust you as a guide, but I think I'm gonna have to look around.
Well, don't be long.
Boss, what happened? I heard a shot.
Get out of here!
Is your name Wickham?
Devil take it, ain't none of your business what my name is. Get away from here or I'll blast you to kingdom come.
Now, hold on, old-timer. Just a minute. We've come a long ways to talk with you. If your name is Wickham, this little gal here is your granddaughter.
Granddaughter? I ain't got no granddaughter. Get out of here. If you come beyond that point, I'll kill a lot of you.
We did all we could, Pa. He just didn't want to have anything to do with us or with Gabrielle.
The wildest looking thing you ever saw, boy. He had long hair hanging down like this and a big beard and meaner than all get out, too. He kind of looked like Rip Van Winkle just waking up, didn't he, Joe?
Yeah.
What about her? What did she say?
Well, she got pretty angry at us, and we wouldn't let her go over and talk to him.
She's kind of quiet all the way home.
Excuse me. Gabrielle.
Why did he say I wasn't his granddaughter? Why? Didn't he want me, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, you mustn't think of it that way, darling. It isn't that he didn't want you. You see, he's been living a strange kind of life.
Hoss and little Joe should have let me talk to him.
Well, I don't know how much good that would have done.
But I'm his granddaughter. He should love me, even if he doesn't love anybody else.
Yes, darling, that's true. But you know, you can't make someone love you if they don't want to. You're grown up now, Gabrielle. You have to understand that. Now, you just lean back and have a nice rest. You've had a long trip.
How is she?
Yeah, she's hurt. There's one thing, though, about her. She has an amazing amount of fortitude.
Yeah, what do we do now?
I really don't know.
Paul, you figuring on keeping her here?
Oh, she's an 11-year-old girl. She's blind.
Hey, look, Pa, we could do it.
Sure we could, Paul. I'll keep an eye on her.
I will, too. We can't just throw her out. You said we accepted the responsibility.
Well, I'm glad to hear that's the way you feel, but we're not equipped for it. She needs a home, the right kind of home, and a place where she can be taken care of properly.
Yeah, but where are you going to find that? Paul, there ain't an orphan's home nowhere around here.
There's got to be somebody who would take her in, give her the proper care and the kind of love her own parents gave her, maybe even the doctor legally. How about the Pastors?
The livery stable owner?
We've known them for a long time. They're marvelous people. And they have a boy about a year or two older than she is.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they have a daughter once, too?
Yeah, and that's just it. They lost her when she was just a little baby, typhoid. I think the Pastors would be very happy to take Gabrielle into their home. I'm going to get her some milk and cookies. That's the story, Drew. A little girl, all alone. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go? Ben Cartwright, you bring that child right here.
You've known us long enough, Ben. You should have brought her with you.
Well, Everett, there's one thing I didn't tell you. Gabrielle is blind.
Blind? Oh, poor child.
That's why I didn't bring her along with me. I thought I'd better tell you all about her so you'd have a little time to think it over.
Ben, there's nothing to think over. She's all alone, isn't she?
Well, no, not exactly alone. She has a grandfather. Maybe you've heard of him. Zachariah Wickham.
Wickham. You mean that wild hermit up on Mount Davidson?
Yeah, that wild hermit up on Mount Davidson. You know, Hoss and Little Joe took the little girl up there, thinking that maybe the sight of her would have some effect on him. You know, make him change his way of living so that he could take care of his own granddaughter. Didn't change him one bit.
Ben, you weren't thinking of leaving the child with that man. Why, I heard that he just shoots at anybody or anything that comes up there.
Well, that's true, but he is her grandfather, and she has no one else.
She has us. Now, you go right back to the Ponderosa and bring that child here, and I don't want to hear another word.
Well, Drew, if you're sure now.
I've never been sure of anything in my life. Well, I've got a million things to do before she gets here. Come on, Jeremy, don't just sit there, boy. Now, you go out and get the extra linen out and open the window in the back room.
You see? Ben, we're just what that girl needs. And, well, she's just what we need. Now, get along with you and bring her back.
Now, Gabrielle, you'll have a lovely home there.
I don't want to go there.
Well, you'd have everything you could possibly want. The Pastors are wonderful people, and they'd be so happy with them there.
But I want to be with my grandfather.
Gabrielle, your grandfather wouldn't be able to take care of you any more than we could. You know, he lives in a man's world. So do we, and just not the right kind of place for a little girl to grow up in.
He's all alone. I could help him. I could cook for him, and I could feed the goats, and I could sew for him.
Gabrielle, will you please listen to me? Do you trust me?
Yes.
Well, then will you please do as I ask? Give the Pastors a chance. They'll be very good to you, and well, try it for a while.
For how long?
Well, until Christmas. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Good. And we'll come and visit you most every day, and we'll be together at Christmas time. And how would you like to have the most wonderful Christmas party that's ever been given in the Ponderosa, in your honor. Now, wouldn't that be a wonderful party?
Yes. If only Grandpa could be there, too.
Come in.
Well, Ben, here we are.
I'm Mrs. Pastor, Gabrielle. I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be your home now for just as long as you wish.
I'm Mr. Pastor, Gabrielle. You don't have to worry about a thing anymore. We're going to take good care of you. This is our boy, Jeremy.
Hello. You're real welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to have supper in a few minutes, Gabrielle. I hope you like chicken pie. Good. Jeremy, why don't you take Gabrielle into her room so she can put her things away,
Come on.
Well, she's a little shy right now, but, oh, she'll feel right at home very soon, I know.
I'm sure she will. And I think she'll be able to talk to Jeremy easier than to us old folks.
Yeah. Well, I just don't know how to begin to thank you.
Oh, now you boys are going to stay to supper, aren't you?
Well, yes, ma'am, we'd be happy to, Miss Pastor, if you think you got enough of that chicken pie left.
Well, of course I do, Hoss. I knew you were going to be here, didn't I?
Smells awful good.
Let me have your coat.
Yeah.
It ain't much, but it's clean. Mom made me scrub the floor twice.
I'm sorry you had to go to all that trouble.
Oh, it wasn't too much trouble. You want me to put that stuff in a drawer?
I can do it.
I don't mind.
All right.
I guess you'll be going to school with me, huh? The kids are real nice. You'll like them. That Mr. Hanley, he's an old bear.
Well, I've never been to school.
Never been to school? How'd you ever manage that? Oh. I'm sorry, Gabrielle.
You don't have to be.
Have you been blind long?
All my life. But I don't mind. You don't miss something you've never had.
You're sure a pretty girl.
Gabrielle, we'll drop by and see you a couple of times a week just to see how you're getting on. I just know you're going to be very happy here.
Don't you forget that Christmas party. It's going to be a real fancy shindig.
It sure is. We'll have a good time. Thank you very much for a very, very nice supper.
Thank you.
Thank you. Night.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Gabrielle! Gabrielle! Gabrielle, how'd you get out here all by yourself?
I walked. Don't you think I can walk?
I was worried about you. Mom and Pa told me not to let you out of my sight until they got back.
Everybody treats me like a baby, just because I can't see. That's why I want to go live with my grandfather.
Why are you always talking about going to live with him?
Because he needs me. I want somebody to need me, instead of it always being the other way around.
Well, you wouldn't like living with him. I've heard about him. He sounds terrible.
He isn't terrible.
Sure he is. He's just an old hermit with a dirty beard. Hey, what'd you do that for?
He isn't just an old hermit with a dirty beard. And I can prove it to you.
How could you do that?
You just take me up to the mountain. I'll show you.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
You're scared.
I ain't either. It ain't that.
Yes, it is. You're scared of an old hermit. That's all you are. Just plain scared.
I'll show you who's scared.
What is it?
It's a cabin. I think it's your grandfather's.
Take me there, Jeremy. Please?
Gabrielle, let's go back.
No. Do you see Grandfather?
I don't see anyone, Gabrielle. I think we better start back.
Listen. Goat bells. Grandpa must be here.
Get out of here. Go on, get out.
No.
Come on, Gabriel, let's go.
But I don't want to go.
Go on, get out of here. I'll skin the hide off you. Ain't you got ears? I told you to get out of here.
Grandpa, I can't see where to go. Grandpa!
Well, you can stay here and freeze for all I care.
Grandpa! Grandfather? Is that you, Grandfather?
What do you want here?
We were on our way to find you. Mama and Papa were killed.
Why did you come back? I told you to stay out of here.
You're my grandfather. I wanted to come. Grandpa, it's so soft. Is it muskrat?
Beaver.
Sounds like you're getting a cold, Grandfather. Onion syrup is good for that. And I can make a tea out of wild cherry and dogwood bark.
I'm taking you out of here.
But I don't want to go.
And I don't want you here, you understand?
I'm staying, Grandfather. Your shirt has a hole in it. You see, Grandfather? You need me.
Hey, Joe, them's my best socks.
Yo, I needed the biggest sock I could find for Gabrielle.
Come on, you two. Let's go pick out that Christmas tree.
Yeah, make sure it's the finest one of the Ponderosa, too.
Ben,
Well, Everett, what is it?
Jeremy took Gabrielle up the mountain, up to her grandfather's.
Up to
Grandfather's? What in tarnation for?
Well, she teased him about being afraid to take her up there. He didn't think it would hurt anything.
Oh, you mean she's still up there?
Yeah, she's still up there. Jeremy tried to get her to come back with him, but she wouldn't budge. Ben, I feel terrible about this, but Well, he's just a kid.
It's all right, Everett. It's all right. Go saddle the horses. Everett, you go back home. Take care of Drusilla.
Look, Grandpa, I mended your shirt. Papa told me so much about you. How you used to take him fishing in the mountains. How you read to him from this book. He told me how they sent you away to prison, even though you didn't do anything wrong. And how he tried so hard to see you, but they wouldn't let him. He loved you, Grandpa. This is my favorite book. I'll read to you, Grandpa. I know most of the stories by heart. There once was a man and woman who had long in vain wished for a child. At length, God was about to grant her wish.
I don't want you reading to me.
Maybe you are just an old hermit with a dirty beard.
If that old buzzard's hurt that little gal.
Easy now.
Grandfather, is that you?
Gabrielle, it's the Cartwrights. Are you all right, darling?
Grandfather went away. He went away.
What do you mean, Gabrielle?
He doesn't want me. He went away. He's been gone all day. He hasn't come back.
Gabrielle, you'd better come back home with us.
I mended his shirt. I know he needs me. Why doesn't he know that?
Gabrielle, honey, this ain't no place for a little gal.
But I don't want to go back. I tried so hard. I've got to stay here.
Hoss, you'd better pick her up.
Paul, don't you think maybe...
Put this hat on her and pick her up. I don't want to do this any more than you do, but she'll be much better off at the pastures. Come on.
But I don't want to go. Please, I don't want to leave Grandpa. Maybe if I call to him once more. Grandpa! Grandpa!
Jeremy. Gabrielle, I know how you feel. And I know how much you wanted to be with your grandfather, but... Well, you see, we just didn't think that he was the kind of man you should be with.
But Maybe if I'd stayed with him longer, he would have changed.
I'd like to believe that, but we just couldn't leave you up there all alone.
I read to Grandpa out of the book. All about Rapunzel, little Joe. I think I lost the book.
Oh, you have a wonderful home here, Gabrielle, and people who love you, and you have friends. And we are your friends, aren't we?
Yes.
I have lots and lots of books, Gabrielle. Be glad to read you anytime.
Yeah. I'll teach you a couple of things about horses I'll bet you didn't know, too.
Gabrielle, you can have a wonderful life with us if you'll just give us a chance. You can have anything you want.
I just want to be needed, Mrs. Pastor.
We need you, Gabrielle. We need you very much.
But my grandfather needs me more.
You promised me that you'd give the pastors a fair try until Christmas, remember? Now, tomorrow night we're going to have the biggest Christmas party the Ponderosa's ever had. And I want you to take that scowl off your face so you can enjoy it, do you hear me? Come on now. How about a little smile, huh? Come on.
Hey, here they come. Come on, let's get ready. I'm gonna sing a bass.
Just sing on key, will you?
All right, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy.
Merry Christmas, Mr.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, Carol.
Merry Christmas.
Come on over here now. To decorate this room?
You know, I think every pine cone from the Ponderosa's right here in this very room.
That's right. Now, here's the tree. You know, it's so tall it goes all the way to the ceiling.
Does it have an angel on top?
The most wonderful angel you could ever imagine.
Yeah, with pink wings and a golden halo.
And over here is a feast fit for a queen.
Mm-hmm. We have turkey and cranberry sauce and apple pie and dumplings. I hope you brought your appetite with you.
I'm not very hungry.
Well, I sure am.
Well, you always.
Wonderful. Look at that.
Ho, 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 ho! And a Merry Christmas to all!
Well, look who just came down the chimney.
Somebody came special to wish you Merry Christmas.
Who is it?
St. Nicholas himself.
Ho, 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 ho! And what would this sweet little girl like for old Santa to bring her for Christmas, huh? Ho, 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 ho!
I know who it is. It's Hoss.
Hoss? I don't know no horse. I'm Santa Claus.
You can't fool me, Hoss. It's just like Grandpa's beard.
Well, let's have a little music here and liven things up. How about a couple of carols before supper?
All right, Ben.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come. Welcome to the Ponderosa, Zechariah.
Don't hand me no welcomes, mister. I don't want no part of your world, you hear?
Well, then what do you want?
You stole something from me.
Stole something from me?
You know what I'm talking about? My granddaughter. I aim to speak to her.
Grandfather, where are you? Grandpa, I'm so glad you came.
There's food inside, Zechariah, and a warm fire. We'd be mighty pleased, and Gabrielle would be too, if you came in and joined us.
Please, Grandpa. Please come in.
There ain't no place for me, child. My home's up on the mountain in the wind and the snow.
But you just have to see the beautiful Christmas tree. It's got an angel on top with a golden halo. It's the very most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
You've ever seen? You can't see nothing, child.
But I can, Grandpa. Somehow I can. Inside, I can see.
Can you see me?
Yes, Grandpa. I can see you. And I love you, Grandpa, very much.
I'll go and look at the tree.
Maybe stay for a little while?
I'll stay with you a little while, Mr. Cartwright.
Get a hold of that. Shove your end over in the line.
Well, there's some more of them. That makes the fifth bunch altogether.
Yeah. Let's go talk to him. You wait here. Howdy. My name's Ben Cartwright. Young man behind me is my son, Joseph.
I'm Mike Sullivan. The boy behind me is my nephew, Bobby Jacks. The kid is Eddie Wheeler. He told me you were coming.
Oh, yes. Then you know all about me and why I'm here.
The kid says you're going to claim that I'm building on your property.
Well, I suppose you have a deed for this land?
All signed, legal and proper, by the man who sold it to us, John Polk.
Mr. Sullivan, I don't like to tell you this, but the man who signed that deed had no right to sell you the land. It wasn't his to sell. You've been swindled.
Mr. Polk told us that you'd be coming around claiming something like that.
Oh?
If it's his word against yours, we're obliged to take his.
Then I'm afraid we're in for a little trouble.
Will you try putting us off this land and you'll find out what trouble is?
Put that rifle down, there'll be no shooting. What about him? Joseph! Now, Mr. Sullivan, I was hoping you'd be a reasonable man.
I brought these people a long, hard ways to get here. We fought hunger and thirst, disease and Indians and thieves. We did it all to get a little land that we could settle on. I am a reasonable man, Mr. Cartwright. But I'm not a weak one. I'm not a coward. I'll fight for what belongs to me. If need be, I'll kill her.
So will I, Mr. Sullivan. So will I. Deceiving me?
Oh, your eyes are all right, Pa. I see it, too.
I'm Amanda Gates, and this is Victoria, my sister.
I do.
We're unmarried ladies. When we bought this place, the man told us that ranchers would want to water their stock here. Now, it's perfectly all right, for a small fee, of course.
Well, there must be some mistake.
Why do you say that?
Well, ma'am, this land and the water, they belong to the Ponderosa, and we haven't sold any of it. Well, excuse me, my name is Ben Cartwright. This is my son, Joseph.
We know you, Ben Cartwright, you black-hearted scoundrel.
Well, ma'am, there's no need for rifles.
Our people are settling this valley to the mountains on land legally bought and paid for. No bandit named Cartwright's gonna run us off.
Pa? Why don't you just be a cowardly bandit named Cartwright and let's get out of here before that thing goes off?
No,
Pa, why don't you come with me?
My name is Henri Belrose.
Oh, my name's Ben Cartwright. It's my son, Joseph.
Joseph.
How are you?
This is my friend, Jean Wheeler.
Just how many are you? And how did you all happen to come here?
We came here on a wagon train. My wife and I, we came to this country to build a home.
Mr. Belrose, this happens to be my land.
It is my land, Mr. Cartwright. Do you wish to see the deed?
Yes, I would very much like to see the deed.
Lisette, please bring our deed and come out and meet Mr. Cartwright. My wife, Lisette. This is Mr. Cartwright and his son, Joseph.
Mr. Belrose?
How are you, ma'am?
You came all the way by wagon train with this infant?
She came only part of the way. She was born on the trail. That's why we are so happy to be here in our new home.
We can get a seal.
Does the deed look all right to you, Mr. Cartwright?
Best looking deed I've ever seen. Well, we'll talk again, Mr. Belrose. And Mr. Wheeler?
Goodbye.
Good day, ma'am.
Hopsing, get me a decent piece of soap. I can't wash myself with this sliver. Hopsing, this water's getting cold. You want me to catch me death? Hopsing? Hopsing, put a little more wood on that fire.
You can see for yourself. We just shot a steer. We're getting ready to skin it out and butcher it.
That's Ponderosa beef. You've got no right to it. A hungry man's got a right to the closest food, boy.
If you're hungry, you can buy a beef, or you can ride in and ask for it. But you kill a steer out here on the range, and it's the same as stealing it.
Don't call us thieves.
I don't know what else to call you. There's a dead beef, and it doesn't belong to you.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go back to the ranch and tell the Cartwrights exactly what I found out here. I don't know what they're gonna do about it, but I've seen men hang for less.
You don't hang me.
Oh, you blasted fool!
Uncle Mike, I had to kill him. You want me to hang for a steer?
No one was gonna hang you. That was talk. Now, our fight for land has turned into a fight to stay alive.
Howdy, ladies. I was just riding by, and I thought I'd stop in and say howdy. Whereabouts is your menfolk at?
We have no menfolk.
We're unmarried ladies.
Who might you be?
My name is Hoss Jones. Yeah, that's my name, Hoss Jones.
What do you want?
Well, my pa, what I mean to say is, I was so nearby, I thought maybe I'd stop in and see if there was something a man could do.
That depends on the man. You know a Ben Cartwright?
Oh, yes'm, it seems to me like I have heard that name.
Worst black-hearted scoundrel alive.
Yes'm. I'm afraid right now I got to agree with you, ma'am. Just a little bit.
We were warned about him by Mr. Polk.
Who's he?
Why, the nice gentleman that sold us this place.
Such a fine man. Except for that one thing.
Yes. Do you smoke, young man?
Oh, no, ma'am. I chew a little bit every once in a while.
Ugh. Such a nice man. How could he smoke those big, nasty things, all twisty?
Yeah, it's disgusting, ain't it, ma'am?
A woman can always tell a gentleman. Doesn't your wife say that, Mr. Jones?
Oh. No wife, ma'am.
Then you can help us with those big logs. It's so nice to have a man around.
Especially a single man.
All in through there. And they've got plat maps as well as deeds to the property, huh?
Well, the plats aren't very accurate, but they're close enough.
This fellow Polk, he must have known the Tucker Creek side of the Ponderosa pretty well.
He knew enough that we didn't get over there very much.
How long you figure they've been in there?
2 weeks, going on 3.
How many families of them?
Well, there's 6 different outfits, 300 acres apiece. And they all paid their last dollar for worthless claims.
I don't like it, Adam. A man will really fight to hang on to what his last dollar's bought from.
Some will kill.
Well, that's all I need. I'll get on the telegraph right away to Sacramento and San Francisco, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I hear anything.
Thanks, Roy.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a big man, 55 or 60, an average kind of a man. John Polk was his name. He had a beard and...
anything else?
He had a wife, too. Good-looking woman. Looked to be much younger than he was, but stunning, though.
Yeah, and they stayed here?
Oh, yes, indeed. They had our best suite, as a matter of fact. Mrs. Polk was a very good-looking woman.
Yeah, so you said. Did they leave any forwarding address of any kind?
No, they didn't.
Look, do you have any idea at all where they went?
No, I haven't.
Is there anybody in Carson City who might have an idea?
No, I'm positive there's not.
Oh, why positive?
Well, many people would like to find him. He left owing $1,000 in debts around town. I'd say the man was a crook. I think his wife was, too. But she was a lovely woman. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so you said. Look, is there anything else in particular you can remember about this man, Polk?
Oh, yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, there was. He always struck his matches across his posterior.
He what?
He smoked cigars. He always lit his matches like this. His wife didn't like it much, though.
Didn't like what?
The gesture. This. Oh, but she was a
stunning woman. Thank you very much.
Benjamin?
Colonel, I thought you were napping.
Are you going into Virginia City today?
Well, yes, Colonel, I am. I'm going to see our lawyer. Anything you wanted?
Well, I thought you might ask the doctor to come out. I'd like to get this splint off this leg. I've been a prisoner long enough.
Well, really, Colonel, our guests don't usually refer to themselves as prisoners.
Well, I didn't mean it that way, Benjamin.
Of course you did.
It's just that I ought to be on my way.
Well, I know it's hard for an active man to be tied down, but I can promise you Doc Martin won't let you get out of that splint for a while yet, so you best grit your teeth and enjoy your rest.
You didn't think I'd become a fixture in your home after you saved my life 10 years ago, did you?
I'm sure someone else would have come along to save your life, Colonel.
I'm still beholden to you.
I sold you the horse that threw you when you broke your leg, so I suppose I'm beholden to you.
Nonsense. I fell off that horse. Well, go along, Benjamin. I'll be all right.
Of course you will be.
Mr. Ben, where you go?
I'm going to Virginia City. Do you need something?
I afraid for boy, Kip Taylor. His horse come back without him.
Well, I'll go by the North Range and check. I'll take his horse with me.
Who is he?
One of my hands. What do you know about this boy?
Nothing, Mr. Cartwright. Like you, I just seen it.
You see what happened?
Somebody was butchering a steer, looks like.
Yeah. Ponderosa steer. Looks to me like Kip Taylor caught him at it. He just killed him and left him here. Why were you following me, boy?
My folks thought it'd be best to know what you was up to. They was afraid what you might do if you got men together. I was going to let them know.
Well, you can let them know something for me now. You can tell them I want them together at the Belrose place. You can tell them I'll meet them there. You can say that I'll be riding in with only one man. This one.
Here he comes.
Across that saddle lies the body of one of my men. He found someone butchering a Ponderosa beef, and that someone, whoever it was, shot him down. I don't know who it was that shot him down. Could have been a stranger who rode on out of the country after the killing was done. It could be. Could also be the killer is one of you. If the killer is one of you, it'd be best if you found him out and turned him over to the law before all of you are blamed.
Thanks for the advice, Mr. Cartwright.
It's good advice. Kip Taylor's relatives and friends might want an eye for an eye. And you're strangers here. What started out as a dispute over land could turn with this into a shooting war, with more dead to bury on both sides.
Oh, what about our land?
You can all stay here for a while. All I ask is that you don't build, and don't cut trees, and don't break sod.
We don't want your charity. We want to build and cut and dig here, on this land, land we paid for, our land.
You think about all this. Talk among yourselves. Decide what you want to do. And remember, I'll help you follow any sensible course. But if you fight me, I'll have to fight you. You decide.
There's nothing to decide. We've got to fight him now.
But why? Why must we fight?
To survive. It doesn't matter now who killed that man. It doesn't matter now who has the best claim to this land. All that matters now is root hog or die.
We came a long way, Henri and I, to get away from violence. We don't want killing. We'll move on.
Move on to where? You got no money to buy more land here. You can't go on to free land. Your animals and your gear are beat out. The season's gone. The passes are full of snow. It's this place or nothing.
But there is a right and a wrong to choose between.
Not for you, Belrose, and not for you, Wheeler, and not for any of us. Men with several choices can fret between what's right and what's wrong. But when there's only one thing you can do to stay alive, you gotta call that one thing right and go ahead with it.
Hello, the house. Is anyone home? Hello in there. Hello, the house. Hello in there. Is there anyone home?
Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Belle Rose. I must talk to Mr. Cartwright.
He isn't here. Come back some other time.
But it's quite important. I would like to wait.
You come back.
The settlers are in an ugly mood. They are ready to fight. I think Mr. Cartwright should know.
I told you to come back. Now you're going to have to do what I tell you.
I know you. Yes, of course, I know you. The beard is gone. But you are the man that...
You're all right.
Yes, of course.
Have my boys come back yet?
I'm all alone. What in the world's wrong?
That young Belrose, one of the settlers, he's dead. I just found his body in a wagon about a quarter of a mile from here. And I've just taken Kip Taylor's body to his parents in Virginia City.
Taylor dead?
Murdered. My boys aren't back yet, eh?
No. There's been no one here. Even Hop Singer's off somewhere. I've been alone all morning. Why are you staring at me like that?
Huh? Oh, I wasn't staring. It was... Belrose has a wife and a baby. I'm going to have to take his body back to his widow. Look, when my sons get back here, tell them that I want them to stay here.
Shouldn't they be with you?
No. If they were with me, someone might think that I was out for more killing. And I'm not. I bring you tragic news, Mrs. Belrose. Your husband lies dead in that wagon.
I know. Eddie came to tell me.
I found him in the wagon about a quarter of a mile from my house. I don't know how he got killed, and I don't know who killed him.
He was going to your place. He didn't want killing. He hoped you would know how to stop it.
He was going to my house?
And now he lies dead.
Mrs. Belrose, I'll be back and we'll talk again of this. But for the moment, please accept my deepest sympathies for yourself and the child.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
me now that we don't have to fight to stay alive, and I'll tell you the fight's already begun.
We don't know who killed Belrose, and we don't know who killed the ranch hand.
I do. My nephew Jax here killed Cartwright's ranch hand.
Jax killed him? Why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you turn him in?
He's my sister's boy, and I'm sworn to keep him safe. Besides, he didn't kill him out of meanness. He was scared into it. You know how he is.
I know it. Killed that Indian crossing the plains, being scared. That darn near got us all killed.
I didn't turn him over to the Indians then, and I'm not turning him over now. Same as then, this is a finished fight, and we need everybody. We've got to let them know we don't scare easy. Then they'll leave us alone. Then they'll leave us have our land. The fight goes to him who hits first and hardest.
Oh, you all right? Colonel told us all about it.
Yeah, I'm all right. You find out anything new?
Bits and pieces, nothing definite.
Colonel? Now, are you sure there was no one here all day?
No, there was no one here.
And there was no one moving around outside?
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't been outside. I've been sitting here all day.
Then you didn't go outside yourself?
I just told you I didn't.
Colonel, there's mud on your sock.
Well, I may have gone outside for a moment for a breath of air. I can't be expected to.
Desk clerk told me Polk used to light his cigars by striking a match on his trousers.
Those spinster ladies, they told me about his cigars, too. Black and twisted.
Then you weren't alone today, were you? Comrade in arms, old friend, guest in my house.
And now you know how low a man can sink.
Belrose came here to see me and recognized you as Polk, the man who sold him our land. Isn't that right, Colonel?
That's right.
And you killed him.
And I killed him. A young wife, beautiful, greedy, spent all I had on her, went head over heels in debt. An old man making a fool of himself over a young woman. It isn't a new story, is it?
No, it isn't a new story.
But it's just what you might have expected of old Fussed and Fuddled, isn't it? Oh, I knew what the men thought of me, Benjamin. Not that I could blame them. Never did anything right in my life. Got lost in the woods at night, fell off horses. Not a man, a fool. Not a soldier, a clown. Now she's gone too. When she found out that I'd broken this leg, she thought I'd botched the whole deal on her. Ran off with another man. I thought I could get away with swindling these settlers. I'd take the money and you'd send them packing, and that's all there would be to it. I didn't think there would be any killing.
Where's the money, Colonel?
In the small satchel in your study. Every dollar of it.
Boys, hitch up a wagon. The Colonel and I are going to return that money. And saddle up your horses. You're right along with us. I wouldn't want anyone getting the idea of hanging the Colonel without a trial.
I didn't want to kill him, Benjamin, but he recognized me.
You can't put a bullet back in a gun once it's been fired. You can't give a father back to his child once that father's been buried. But you can pay back part of the debt by returning this money and by facing up to the law for what you've done. So we better get going, Colonel.
No, Benjamin. Nobody's gonna hang me. Trial or no trial. You stand in my way and I'll kill you.
What's become of you, Jonathan?
I warned you, Benjamin. Don't stand in my way.
You'd pull that trigger?
Don't try me, old friend. I hate you.
You hate me?
You've always been the better man, haven't you, Ben? You've always had the success, and I've had the failure. You had the money and the land and the family, and I had nothing. You even took over my command when I was relieved.
I was following orders, Colonel. You knew that.
For incompetence. I was relieved for incompetence, old comrade-in-arms. You knew that. Now I'm going to give the orders, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to take that money, and I'm going to take your buckboard, and I'm getting out of here. And if any of your boys stand in my way, there's going to be one or more of them dead.
All right, Colonel. There's your money. My boys are hitching up the buckboard. You can start running. But first, you'll have to kill me. And will this money change what you are? Will killing me give you the courage you lack? As if you think it will. You'd better pull that trigger. It isn't me you've hated all this time, is it, Colonel? It's you, yourself. No matter how fast you run or where you hide, sooner or later, you're going to have to face the truth and live with yourself. Give me that gun, Colonel. Better do what we have to do.
They'll be coming along this way. Now, they're a weaker party than we are, and we got surprise on our side.
I'll have no part of a massacre, Sullivan.
Will you fight?
They give us no choice, but I gotta see it's fight or die before I shoot.
You'll see. Now take the horses around back and take cover. I'll do the talking. Judgment Day, Cartwright. Here now is where we get things settled.
You're not going to settle anything this way.
Look around you.
There's no need for this. No need for any ambush.
That'll depend upon you. We want clear title to our land.
The land is not yours. You're getting your money back.
The money'll do us no good. We haven't got time to wait for it.
You don't have to wait for your money. I'm the man that called himself John Pope.
Colonel, sit down.
The money's here.
I fooled you.
And I killed Belrose. I'll stand trial for it.
Give us the man who killed Kip Taylor and the fight is ended.
Fight is done. Jack's there is the man who killed Kip Taylor. Hold your fire.
Benjamin, I couldn't put the bullet back, but I stopped one. I finally did something right.
Are we done with killing?
Yes, we are. We'd be obliged to have our money back. But we'd rather you kept the money and let us keep the land.
Sullivan, I can't do that. We've got this land staked out for other purposes. Would you be willing to take some land on the other side of the Ponderosa?
We would, if we could pay the price.
Well, I figure you could have killed my 3 sons and me. I guess you paid the price. You might have proud to have his neighbors.
Thank you, Officer. That burn, I'm glad you didn't catch that slow boat to China.
Thank you, Hopsing. Hey, I got the winner.
Well, I guess you'll be playing me then.
The game's not over yet.
Oh, did you deliver that lumber to the settlers?
Yeah, wagon load to each place.
Good.
It's going to be the difference in them folks being warm and comfortable this winter and freezing to death, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Horse, how'd you make out with those school marm ladies? I understand one of them almost hogtied you.
Me? I know how to handle them female women. You just told them that I was a bachelor and I was going to stay a bachelor and there wasn't a dead-burn thing they could do about it. I told them I'd promised my dear old daddy I was going to stay single.
Oh, is that what you promised them?
Hey, Hoss, I didn't realize you knew so much about women.
Huh. Joe, it's easy. You just got to know how to handle them. I've learned that females is pretty much the same the world over, whether they're a horse or a woman. You just got to be firm with them. Tell them what you want them to do in no uncertain terms, and by golly, they'll do it.
Oh, hey. Well, ladies, what brings you here?
Oh, well, we were just passing by and thought we'd drop in for a minute.
Well, believe me, it's our pleasure.
We're having a little box social tonight, and we wondered if we could persuade Mr. Haas to attend.
Well, I think if you would ask him in no uncertain terms, by golly, I think he'd do it.